So I'm out here at the ranch and I have decided to put 3-foot wide sidewalks all the way around my shop here to keep these baseboards that are here from warping and sticking out. So I'm going to put a sidewalk here that's going to push against one, that wood that's there, but two, go underneath the wood and create a slab that comes all the way out. But I'm going to try something that has kind of been a YouTube craze from what I've seen, and that is dry pour concrete. So these don't have to be load bearing. There'll probably be a little bit of load bearing right there where the garage doors are when I drive in. But in general, not load bearing. And I think dry pour would work great if it works at all. I mean, it's just sidewalks. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get this all formed up. I'm gonna be using some old bent up cattle panels that I probably would get rid of, but I've kept them around. I'm gonna use that as the rebar inside of the concrete, which would be more than enough, way stronger than wire mesh. And then I'm going to put half the dry concrete down, put those panels in for the rebar, and then put the rest of the concrete on top of that. I'm going to see how well it does. All right, so I've got it formed up, and I've got about an inch and a half of concrete down. We're doing this all the way across the front of the shop. If it turns out good, I'm going to do it all the way around. All right, so I've got, again, the first half of the concrete down, the cement, and I've got the rebar all chopped up. Again, cattle panels that were busted up, and I was not even going to use them really anymore. I set them aside for things like this. Now I've got these concrete bags laid down holding that rebar straight, and it's starting to get dark. This is taking me a little longer than I was planning, and time of year, our daylight is short. So luckily we're getting no rain in the forecast. I'm going to pick up tomorrow. I'm going to bust open these bags, level this out, and then we're going to start wetting it. So it is the next day. I do have all the bags that I had purchased before busted open. I actually went and grabbed another pallet because I thought I'd have a little bit extra, but actually I needed a little bit more. And that's mostly because, you know, I didn't smooth the dirt down before. So instead of 3.5 inches, it's probably going to be about 4 to 4.5 inches. Anyways, no rain. I'm getting back to it. I'm going to get this nice and leveled off, and then we're going to start the process of watering. I wasn't looking for perfection, but I think it turned out pretty good. And all the way to the other end. I still got to finish up a little bit over there, but I'm going to start misting from the middle right here and mist to there, and then I'm going to work my way to the other sides. I'm gonna go get the hose hooked up now. All right, so I used my little misting wand here. I think that's a Black & Decker or something like that. I got that off Amazon. I'll put a link to that down in the description in case you're wanting something like that. It makes it really easy to reach places that you don't want to step into or anything like that, so I like that. And I think it did pretty good. I do see, you know, a lot of sand and aggregate at the top, but I believe that's one of the things with dry pour. But I wasn't really caring about that smooth gray finish. I did want it a little bit rough, hopefully like a brush finish. All right, well, I'll come back in another 30 minutes and do another spray on it again. I just finished the second spray. It definitely is getting like a harder shell on the outside now. And I've done all the mists, so it's about 4 inches thick. So I did 4 misting sessions, and I did them about an hour apart, something like that. Now, I didn't spend a lot of time trying to make the surface of this all beautiful like a regular slab would be, mainly because this walkway is just around the building. And then once I'm done pulling the forms off, I'm going to actually bring road base all the way up to the edge of this concrete. The concrete here was mainly just to have, again, almost like a weed barrier all the way around that we could walk, not get stuff all over us. Also, mud. We get a lot of mud when it rains out here because of all the clay. So this just gives us, you know, a walkway. And I'm going to continue doing this all the way around the building. But yeah, I think it looks good. The last spray, I did put a good amount of spray on it, soaking it pretty good. You can see here some of the sand and stuff up here. And that is actually because it was on the lip there of the building. And when I was spraying it, it would kind of come down. That's probably just going to broom off. But yeah, we're going to check it tomorrow. I'm going to take all the forms off. It should be not cured, but it should be nice and stiff tomorrow, so that way the forms don't have to be here. And then I can start putting the base, which is all of this. And this is what I meant by putting base there. See, we don't have that right here. We don't have this little walkway or slab here on the side of the building. So even if I, have rocks and everything here, it seems to still kind of chip away at the foundation that's here. So what I don't want is that happening even when it's raining. So when the rain comes off the building, it's just gonna, hit the concrete walkway and then wash off into, the parking space, which is gonna be this. And then when I'm done, I'm gonna come back and top it with crushed limestone, white crushed limestone. It should look good when I'm done. We'll check it out tomorrow. All right, so I have had these forms on here for a couple days now. I did get rain yesterday, actually this morning, really. So it did dry up pretty quick, and it doesn't look like it did too much, like over soaking. But anyways, this is all hardened up anyway. I'm gonna take the forms off now, and we're gonna see what it looks like. But I think it came out really good for just some basic dry pour. Again, I didn't really care so much about how beautiful the surface was, because this is just a walkway around the building. But I think it did really well. Formed pretty good. I'm gonna do it all the way around the rest of the building, so we'll see. I'm gonna definitely give it some time to fully cure before I start pulling anything really heavy across this area. I have a 16,000 pound RV in the building here, and then I've got quite a few big pieces of equipment that sometimes go in there. We're talking 20,000 pounds or so. That is definitely gonna stress this area up a little bit, so I might get some stress cracks or something here, but I don't expect too much. But yeah, worked out well. I think I'm gonna do it for the rest of the building. Let me know what you think. Thank y'all very much for watching. Take care.